Okay, hello everybody. We're going to start with Mark chapter 3, Marcos, Capítulo 3. As always, remember to use the headings to help you as you begin the reading in that portion. Here we have Jesús sana a un enfermo en sábado. Jesus heals a sick man on the Sabbath, which is also Saturday. Okay, it says, Jesús entró otra vez en la sinagoga. So Jesus entered the synagogue another time, or entered again. So you have entró. This is the past tense. We've been working on this as well. It's entró, not entro, but entró. It's the third person singular of entrar, to enter, and it's preterite or past tense, or the simple past. Y había en ella un hombre que tenía una mano tullida. So there was a man in there, in ella. This is referencing la sinagoga. So there was in it, meaning the synagogue, a man. So there was a man in it. There's a man in the synagogue que tenía una mano tullida. So it's a man who had, tenía, this is the imperfect, because he always had it. He was, it's his condition, it's some background information here. Tullido means crippled, so he had a crippled hand. The word hand is feminine in Spanish. Una mano tullida. Y espiaban a Jesús para ver si lo sanaría en sábado, y así tener de qué acusarlo. Y espiaban. Now here we have the word espiar is just to spy, espiar. Espiaban, we know that it's imperfect. So literally it says they were spying. Now, it's not mentioned here. You just have to think of it in context, right? Who is always spying on Jesus, right? It's the Pharisees. It's the scribes. They're sending people to spy on Jesus, correct? So espiaban, they were spying. It's just obvious to the reader who it is, right? Espiaban a Jesús para ver si lo sanaría en sábado. So they were spying on Jesus to see if he would heal them. This is sanaría. This is conditional. You know, the ría form, sanaría en sábado, to see if they would heal him on the Sabbath. Now, this whole thing might have been a setup, actually. They might have kind of pushed him up there to see what he'd do and see if they could trap Jesus. And it could have all been a setup. Y así tener de qué acusarlo. And in this way, you know what así means, of course. Tener de qué. Tener de qué means something that they can use to do something else, right? So acusarlo is a verb here, to accuse him. So they wanted to see if he would heal on the Sabbath and thereby have something to accuse him with, or something for which to accuse him. Jesús le dijo entonces. So Jesus then, entonces means and then. It connects to the last sentence there. So Jesus said to the man que tenía la mano tullida, who had the crippled hand, levántate y pon ahí en medio. Stand up, levántate, lift yourself, y ponte, place yourself. Or he means just stand, right? Go to this place. Ahí en medio, go there in the midst, in the center. Luego preguntó a los otros. Then he asked, okay, this would be Jesus talking. He asked the others, ¿Qué está permitido hacer en sábado? ¿El bien o el mal? What is permitted on the Sabbath? What can you do on the Sabbath? Good or evil? Salvar una vida o destruirla? To save a life or destroy it. And here, destruirla, it's la because vida is feminine. Pero ellos se quedaron callados. Ellos se quedaron, they remained, and we know this verb too, quedar, quedarse. Se quedaron callados. Callado means quiet or silence. Silence. to be quiet. The phrase you might have heard some people say, cállate, it means be quiet. Okay, callarse is to silence oneself, right? So, se quedaron callados, they remained silent. Jesús miró entonces con enojo. Here we have that word entonces again. So then, right? It connects down here. Connects to what just happened. So Jesus looked with anger, con enojo, right? He's angry, he's irritated. A los que le rodeaban. So he looked with anger at those who were around him. Right? Rodear, it means to surround. Y entristecido por la dureza de su corazón, le dijo a aquel hombre, extiende la mano. So entristecido, you see the word triste in there, sad. So entristecido means saddened. Saddened by the hardness. La dureza, duro means hard. So la dureza is hardness. De su corazón, the hardness of their hearts. Le dijo a aquel hombre, he told that man, extiende la mano, extend your hand, right? He says, stretch out your hand. El hombre la extendió y su mano quedó sana. So the man stretched it out, he extended it out, and his hand, in English we would say, it was healed. Su mano quedó sano. Quedó sano. Sana, sorry. Quedó sana. Pero en cuanto los fariseos salieron, comenzaron a hacer planes con los del partido de Herodes para matar a Jesús. En cuanto here means as soon as. As soon as the Pharisees left, so you can see again that those were the ones that were spying, right? Espiaban a Jesús, those were the guys spying, because here it talks about the Pharisees leaving, right? When they left, and here you have that preterite tense, salieron. So this is a good practice to apply what you know in the present past tense here. Comenzaron, here's another one. They began. Comenzaron, there's the AR form. So when they left, they began hacer planes. They began to make plans. Con los del partido de Herodes. Un partido is a political party or a faction. So they began to plan or make plans with los del partido, with the ones from the party of Herod. So Herod's party, Herod's faction, with the members of that faction, that political group, para matar a Jesús, in order to kill Jesus. So here we have four. When something is for a certain action, when you can do something so that you can do something else, you would say para. So they're doing this in order to kill Jesus. Now we have mucha gente a la orilla del lago, many people at the shore of the lake. So they're at the lake side. All right, they're at the shore of the lake there. Jesús, seguido por mucha gente de Galilea, se fue con sus discípulos a la orilla del lago. So you have here this verb seguido, which is from seguir, which means follow. Seguido means followed. And you can see this verb a lot, so make sure you commit this word to memory, especially because you're going to see it so much. You know, Jesus is always telling people, follow me, or he's being followed by somebody. You know, there's a lot of different ways it's used here. So seguido, this is the diving form of seguir, followed. So Jesus is followed por mucha gente de Galilea, by many people from Galilee. Se fue con sus discípulos a la orilla del lago. Fue is the preterite of to go, and also is the preterite of to be. But we see that it's se fue, that means off. It really means he left, he went away. Con sus discípulos, with his disciples, to. Okay? Whenever you have go, a form of go, ir, you're going to probably see a to there somewhere along the line. Se fue a la orilla del lago. So he went away with his disciples to the shore of the lake. Now, verse 8 says, Cuando supieron las grandes cosas que hacía, también acudieron a verlo muchos de Judea, de Jerusalén, de Idumea, del oriente de Jordán, y de la región de Tiro y Sidón. Okay, so when, supieron. Supieron is from the verb saber, which means to know. And when saber is used in this way in the preterite tense, it means found out. Because somebody knew it at a particular point in time. And in English, what we say is they found out. So I would actually translate, if I were translating this, I wouldn't say when they knew. I would say when they found out about the great things that he was doing. Or I would say when they noticed, when they realized. Okay, so that's what that means. Cuando supieron. It is from saber, and so it has a pretty significant change for the past tense. The other past tenses would be supe for yo form, the yo form, supe, supiste, supo, supimos, and then supieron. So when they found out, cuando supieron las grandes cosas que hacía, the great things he was doing, that Jesus was doing, también acudieron a verlo muchos de Judea. So we kind of see what supieron refers to here. It refers to many people from Judea, from Jerusalem, from Idumea, and from the west of Jordan, or the west of the Jordan. Okay, the river Jordan, el río Jordán. Okay, that's masculine, so del Jordán, of the Jordan, so the west of the Jordan River. Y de la región de Tiro y Sidón, and the region of Tyre and Sidon, or Sidon. So when those people found out about the great things that he was doing, they also acudieron, they also came to him, right? They came to see him. Those people all came to see him. Por esto, Jesús encargó a sus discípulos que tuvieran lista una barca. Right? Por esto, for this, Jesús encargó a sus discípulos. He had his disciples. He's going to have them do something. Encargar is to put somebody in charge of something, or to ask somebody to do something. So he asked his disciples that they have a boat ready for him. Que le tuvieran. And this is not, it's not tuvieron, it's not preterite. It's actually a subjunctive because he asked them to have it ready. So it's the imperfect subjunctive here. Que le tuvieran. Because they might not have done it, right? But he wanted them to do it. So he wanted them to have a boat ready for him. Para evitar que la multitud lo apretujara. We can say here that he requested, right? He requested that they do this. So he wanted to avoid. Evitar is to avoid. That la multitud, the multitude, the crowd of people, lo apretujara, and this is another past imperfect subjunctive because he's avoiding that something else would happen. They didn't want the crowd to crush him, right? Because the people just gathering around, would really could be a dangerous situation. Porque había sanado a tantos que todos los enfermos se echaban sobre él para tocarlo. Because, and here we see why, right? Because he had healed. Había sanado. He had healed so many people that all sick se echaban sobre él. They threw themselves on him, right? They went to him, they practically just threw themselves on him para tocarlo, just to touch him, right? So they want to get healed so badly that they're just like jumping on him. That's why, they're going to crush him, right? So he wants to have a boat that he can be ready with in case he needs it. Cuando los espíritus impuros lo veían, se ponían de rodillas delante de él y gritaban, "Tú eres el Hijo de Dios." Okay, so when the impure spirits, when the evil spirits or demons saw him, right? When they saw him, and lo veían, this is imperfect here. This is the long line in the past. So this is every time they saw him, right? All over and over and over again this happened. Every time they saw him, se ponían de rodillas, they got on their knees delante de él, right? So it seems like what they're doing is, because the people were demonized, they would have those people that would just kneel, right? So it's the spirits actually doing this, all right? That they're they're forcing their host has no choice but to kneel before Jesus, and they were shouting, gritaban, and this is not just a one-time deal, is it? This is something that happened over and over again. And in Spanish, you can say that. You can say gritaban or you can say gritaron, right? They shouted out. But gritaban means that they shouted over and over and over again every time they saw him. Tú eres el Hijo de Dios. You are the Son of God. Pero Jesús les ordenaba severamente que no hablaran de él en público. Jesus ordered them. Again, we have the imperfect tense. Often, right? He ordered them over and over again, severamente, severely, right? Harshly, that they would not speak. Right? He ordered them not to talk about him. Que no hablaran de él. And here you have that imperfect subjunctive here because he told them not to do it. He ordered them not to speak about him in public. Okay, this is your last part of Mark chapter 3 that you have for this week. Después Jesús subió un cerro. Right? Afterward, Jesus climbed up onto a hill. Right? He went up. Subir is to go up. Right? Subió a un cerro. Cerro is a hill. Y llamó a los que le pareció bien, and he called those that seemed good to him. Que le pareció, parecer, to appear. So he called the ones that as it seemed good to him. Una vez reunidos, once they were gathered, una vez reunidos, once gathered together, eligió de entre ellos a 12. So he chose. Elegir is to choose, like to elect. Eligió de entre ellos a 12. So he chose 12 of them among them. He chose 12. Para que lo acompañaran, right? He chose them so that they would accompany him. They would go with him. And that's the subjunctive again. Acompañaran. Y para mandarlos, to command them, to send them. Anunciar el mensaje, to announce them the message, the good news. A estos les dio nombre de apóstoles. So a estos, to these people, right, to those 12, les dio, he gave to them el nombre de apóstoles, he gave them the name apostles, apóstoles. Y les dio autoridad, right, he gave them authority. Les dio autoridad para expulsar a los demonios, to expel demons. Estos son los 12 que escogió. And he says, these are the ones, the 12 that he chose. Simón, Simon, a quien puso el nombre de Pedro, who he gave the name Peter, right? A quien puso, so he would call him Peter, Pedro. Santiago is James, y su hermano Juan. Juan is John, so James and John. Hijos de Zebedeo, sons of Zebedee, a quienes llamó Boanerges, es decir, hijos de tu reino, who he called Boanerges, and is, es decir means that means, right? So Boanerges, I have to see what language that is. I want to say it's like Aramaic. Sorry, something from Hebrew, but I want to check it out for sure. That would be interesting. So he called them sons of thunder, hijos de trueno. Yeah, because in Greek it would have been huios or huioi, and I don't see that in there. But son is ben in Hebrew, right? And beni in the plural. So Boanerges, it sounds like it would be Hebrew to me there. Andres, of course, is Andrew. Felipe is Philip. Bartolome is Bartholomew. Mateo, Matthew. Tomás y Santiago, Thomas and James. It's a different James. Hijo de Alfeo, so James, son of Alphaeus. Tadeo, Simón el Cananeo, so Thaddeus and Simón the Canaanite. Y Judas Iscariote, Judas Iscariot, que después traicionó a Jesús, who later on betrayed Jesus. And Iscariote, that's like it's like where he's from. Ish is man in Hebrew. Ishkariote, it's like a man from I can't remember what place that is, but it's something that has to have to do with that. So it's like where he's from is actually his last name. Okay, well that's it for chapter 3, part 1, because you only have to do up to verse 19. Muchas gracias.